Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are going to be reviewing a Silver Zenyatta player. They want to know if they could have been the difference maker in this game, could have put it in the win column. The answer is probably yes, but even if it isn't, we'll find some good things for them to improve on. For those of you who are enjoying the content, please do feel free to like and subscribe, or if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, and that'll show you what my rates look like, let you collect with other people, etc. So I already don't like that right click. The first right click I can live with.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Let's slow this down. Okay. That's fine. I don't like that you threw an orb at him, then you started charging a right click here, and that's going to be wrong. If you'd been charging a right click because you threw out your right click here and then you drifted and started charging a right click and then saw he was there, would totally understand that, etc. But in this case, you saw him and then you started charging the right click. So that's not really what you want to be doing. If you saw this Sombra and started charging your right click after you could see her, that's going to be lower uptime than just aiming and throwing your left clicks. It's also going to be easier to hit her with individually aimed left clicks when she's on your screen than charging a right click. A right click is sort of a, hey, I hope I get lucky. It's not purely luck, but I hope I get lucky with hitting this to a degree. It's really not. There's leading involved, etc. But it's for throwing at chokes. It's for charging when you can break line of sight with the target. You can't really break line of sight with this target. Yes, this target isn't shooting at you, and yes, you sort of have this tree to help you, but you can get that faster fire rate out with your left click. So that is something that I am going to recommend that you do. Rather than go into the right click charge here. Also, charging the right click prevents you from getting your Discord out on this target or moving your Harmony Orb. So you're going to need to fire this shot off. How should I put this? If your Junkrat does any damage to the Sombra before you fire off your right click, you have denied your Junkrat help that you could have given him, and you've denied your ability to move your Harmony Orb to your Junkrat to also help him here. So I don't like this right click. Okay, and now you get it and do it. And, it's just a habit you want to break. You don't want to... Okay, that one was fine to charge. Good. You'll push her, that's fine. You don't need to charge while you're looking here. So you're opening and then charging. You're opening this angle and then charging, and you don't need to do that. You can charge with it's closed, and then once you're up to like 4 orbs, you can open the angle and shoot at them. Because if you open it at 4 orbs, you'll still have some time. You can hold your 4 orbs. You can charge up to 5 orbs. Either of those is fine. But if you're opening the angle when you're at 2 or 3 orbs charged, you don't have enough to really get your elimination, and you're putting yourself potentially in danger. Now, you might be thinking, oh, I wasn't in danger. We had a barrier here for some of this time. Yeah, but you don't know when Ryan's going to flash his shield to preserve it, and there's just no need. You're going to have time to properly aim from 4 orbs. It's not a thing like, oh, I got to 4 orbs, or even I got to 5 orbs, and my fire instantly goes off. You actually get a pretty generous amount of time to hold it before it will go off there. So you have time to adjust, do your aim, etc. Harmony's on Sigma, no Discord out. Now you've got your Discord out. Okay, so I don't really like that you're late on this rotation. So your team is clearly rotating here. So I'd like you to be pushing forward with this. You see, you've got your team. Sigma's probably going to use his shift to help cover this rotate. That would be my expectation. If not, your BAP is paying attention and will throw down his lamp if it looks like he's going to lose somebody. Your team is also likely to be pushing in now because you got that Sombra elimination. So, of course, they want to push in, so this shouldn't be a surprise to you. So I'd like you to throw out this 5 orb and then rotate forward with your team, not be fading back like you are here. Yeah, you're fading back too much. And see, your Sigma gave you a good window, and your BAP was ready to use his lamp, did use his lamp to help protect people. So that was your rotation window. Now you're separate from your team, and I don't like that. I don't mind you shooting at this separate angle from your team, but I'd rather you be shooting at this separate angle from your team while your team pushes in from here, as opposed to this separate angle. Just because I'd like your team to be able to protect you a little more. I'd like your retreating bind cover to put you more with your team if someone's trying to push you and all that jazz. It's fine. You could make up your mind. This is fine. Just carefully win this out. You have enough of a lead that it's fine. Play it conservatively. I would like you to be aware of hotel. Someone could push you through there, and you've pushed them back enough that that's sort of one of their only routes in. Good. Nicely done. That's exactly that hotel we were talking about. I'm a little surprised that... Okay, you did get that off. Fine. Get your Harmony Orb back out there. Good stuff. Good angle. And you see someone there, so you continue firing left clicks. That's fine, though you're not quite at head height. You should actually be aiming a little bit higher. This is sort of like hit them in the chest height, and you want to be aiming a little higher, so it's like hit them in the neck height. That's going to be good because that will qualify, that'll qualify for headshots if you do hit them, and if you air a little low, you're still getting those nice body shots, etc.
Back in my day, we'd have this payload delivered already.
Yeah, that's better. You stayed behind cover until you had enough charged up there. Gonna get a Harmony Orb? Yeah, there you go.
Experience tranquility.
Let's take another look at that. So you're down one, but still pushing. They went ahead and bobbed in, and that's annoying, but you have this lamp here. You don't quite need to be here. Your options are either be the extra step forward to be in the immortality field in case you get, double tapped real quick by this Ash. In the immortality field, you can't go down. Or go to this corner where you can close the angle and just fight the Bob like you're doing. Since you're fighting the Bob now, you can close the angle and be in this corner and you're safe. Or you can go into this immortality field and at least be safe while it's up. But I'd recommend here. You were choosing to do neither and be right here, and that's just a little sad. Why make yourself vulnerable like that?
Let them up.
And your lamps or your windows over there, but I think you're just going to ignore that until you get health back. No, you weren't in any danger. Your team is fine. If you look, we'll go back here just to show you the health situation. Okay. If you look at your team situation, you've got the lamp out, so maybe it feels like you're in danger. Remember, Junkrat went down a couple seconds ago. That was before the lamp went out. You're missing health. I get why you're scared. But they have the window. They're behind their Reinhardt. They've got the payload they can use as cover. I don't think you need to be hitting this trans, personally. And part of why I don't like this trans is because this trans puts you in an awkward situation. The window means your team wants to be here and wants to sort of do poke work, etc. The trans means your team wants to go forward and fight as hard as they can because they don't want to stand back in your trans and poke. They want to get close and fight hard, really commit to that fight, etc. Yeah, okay. So let's go back and look at the dynamite. Perfect. Good to see you there, Zero.
Let them up.
Here in Express.
Experience tranquility.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear her throw the dynamite. I get it. It's actually over here, and I know it's over there. I get why you made that decision then. Okay, I can live with that. Yeah, I can live with that. If that had been in the other direction, you'd have been in trouble, and you're not, even if you'd slam decks, you're not counting on your teammate to heal you there. Okay, that's fine.
I'm on fire!
And you going down there would not be correct. So yeah, if you're using that to save your life to make sure you don't lose the team fight that you were up in, but only slightly up in, we're fine with that. You drifted into that. Like you were in it, but then you continued to drift it right rather than drift left there. Breaker, just kick it, kick it, kick it, kick it. Okay. It actually is pretty darn annoying to her if you break her translocator. Like here you are, you hear her, you don't look behind you, which is the obvious place, you try and throw that, and I actually, rather than charging the right click here, wanted you to just immediately turn, because you'd already seen this, you knew this was here, you just couldn't throw your right click at it earlier because you needed your right click for her. This should have been an instant, as soon as you're back behind cover, an instant pivot and just throw one orb at it to destroy it, and then go into your charge if you want. That will make her very unhappy, I promise. Yeah, not a big deal. And actually, did you, let's one more time. Technically, you could have gotten 8 health off that health pack, but, you know, we're not worried about it.
The cycle begins anew.
Gale the Mahal.
You got to be a little careful about falling this far back. You can't see through walls like we can now, but there are now 3 potential flank spots between you and your team. That means your team, other than the guys coming back from respawn, might not be aware if these people show up, etc. So you sort of want to be conscious of, wait, did I just create too many flank spots between me and the enemy team? Is it too likely that someone isn't going to show up? Now, as your game sense grows and as you're tracking more total players in the game and generally where they are, did they just go to spawn, etc., you'll have a better understanding of it's okay because the only people who are likely to flank are in spawn because we just eliminated them 6 seconds ago, 4 seconds ago, 10 seconds ago, and they just left spawn, etc. Like you get to that point as you play more, as you get more game sense, as you can mentally track more people. But you do want to be aware, hey, am I creating too many easy opportunities for someone to get in here without my team noticing, without my team, because your team's just not going to turn around all the time. Like that's not a thing that happens unless you make it obvious, set up easy elims for them. Like, oh, there's this target right here. So, I like it. I like looking for little, hey, let me weave the angle, etc. But you do want to be thinking, am I opening too much up based on what we are, based on what the enemy team is? If you look at the enemy team, they're a Doomfist Ash, so high grounds like this is going to be a pretty common roll-in for the Doomfist, and being a little more with your team is going to potentially protect you more. You can play here, you can do your peaks, etc. Good job. Do you lose anyone here? No, that's good. I don't really like that. You don't have trans because there's lamp. You don't have trans even if you did. It's just the Sigma, right? No, it's more than the Sigma. Turning your back on this is a little dicey. Are you going here specifically to get the Harmony Orb? No, you're thinking that you want eliminations. You don't really want to put yourself in situations where there's potentially enemies on multiple sides of you. I know you're pretty cleanly winning this here, like you have the advantage, etc. But in general, be careful of scooting yourself into situations where enemies are now surrounding you on multiple sides, etc. This is kind of in the needless risk territory. Your Sigma, you expect that he's going to be able to take this without you. You end up not being able to contribute. At first, I thought maybe you were giving him the Harmony Orb real quick to help him win this, and then you would get back out. I'd have liked that better than I like the right click here. It's fine. TNT won't get you. Good stagger. Yeah, so you're charging a right click there. You go into that right click charge again when that's downtime. There's a huzzah to any time you charge a right click, whether you charge 1 or 5 for it. There's a bit of a huzzah with the magic hands, etc. It is longer if you charge 5 than it is 1, but it's not a proportional growth. Charging 1 isn't 1/5 the delay after you fire that charging 5 is. So you are doing downtime here, needlessly increasing your needlessly decreasing your uptime or increasing your downtime, however we want to say that, where you could have gotten more shots out here, and more shots out here, that is an eliminated Doomfist. It also takes away your ability to move your orbs around, etc. So when you don't have cover between you and an enemy, you generally don't want to be doing the right click. Unless you're charging that right click specifically because they put up a Zarya bubble, they put up a Genji deflect, they're putting up defense matrix, something like that. You want to be going, there's an enemy on my screen, or there's an enemy that I don't have cover between me and the enemy. I want to be doing left clicks, not right clicks, because then you've got more options on the table, you've got better uptime, you can move your orbs. That's better for you. Good. Okay. I don't like that last Discord move, but that's pretty minor. Good trans. Push it forward. Tell your team to push forward. They're not on comms, right? You're trying. You could have led your team a little more aggressive forwardly with that. A little more aggressive forwardly. Those are words. I know they're not on comms, but I'm just going to show your movement a little bit here. It's definitely minor. This is good. No one's purple. It's unfortunate that your Rhine is doing that. This is a good encouragement, but you're backing out early. I know your team isn't pushing how you want them to with this, but you're backing out early. You're backing out at 4 seconds there, and you were a little race car when you transcended Zenyatta. You can get from here back to here with 2 seconds of trans quite easily. Quite easily. So you don't need this little, oh, I'm backing up, etc. I think maybe you're backing up thinking, oh, I need to make sure I get my Sigma back capped off. Your Sigma's fine. He was in range even when you were pushing forward. He's also not foolish, we hope. He's going to push forward if he needs to get heals. And lastly, your Harmony Orb was on him. So I don't really like the little scoot back that you do early here. But I'm definitely nitpicking.
Tactical visor activated.
Throw your Harmony on your soldier for that. Just to let him move a little more freely when he's using his ult like that, just to let him go do his thing. It's frequently worth just moving your Harmony Orb to whoever's making an ult play like that. Be that a Dragon Blade, Attack Visor, a High Noon, any of those things. So you guys finished with a pretty solid time bank. And let's see where we go from here.
Ready for battle.
Okay, how's your comp changed? You're playing Hamster Sigma, fine. With lots of poke. Okay.
3, 2,
And that's
1.
Sim.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Try to keep yourselves in one piece. I don't mind a little
Good.
fight.
So I'd actually like you to slide a little more to the right here so that you've got the ability to close the hotel angle. This is okay, but this is a little better because you still get this angle through the main place that you're looking to threaten. You'd have been further from this Reaper that just appeared, that's sort of a coincidence, but it also lets you protect a little bit more from this hotel. Did you have better warning that he was coming that we missed? We saw that. Yeah, and he predictably went over there. No, and it's just the repositioning, and he catches you with halfway through a charge, not backed up far enough. Okay.
The outcome is not preordained.
Portal open.
Walk in harmony.
Nothing on your screen.
Objective
Okay.
lost.
So that's the opposite. You're throwing quite a few shots into, hey, there's nothing there. And if you expect something to show up there in a moment, you would prefer to be throwing a 4-orb or a 5-orb, even if you're throwing less of them, because that can actually get you an elimination. That can actually break their push, delay them, stagger them from taking their next push, etc. So unless you're going, hey, I'm at 96% ult and I really need to get my trans right this instant, you'd prefer to be throwing right clicks, charged right clicks at that, especially because you can dip back here and be charging them and then throw them, and be charging them and then throw them. If you're throwing an orb, just a single orb, hoping that someone's going to round the corner and walk into it, usually you should be charging instead.
Regen burst activated.
Good, exactly like that. It's a little early on your pick. Is there anything you need to be creating distance against here? No, I mean, you're just making it so Hanzo's curve is a little different. Okay. Okay. Good job, but you probably needed to predict that a little more. Like, I'm happy that you hit your shots here, but what I'm going to say is let's take another look at this, because nothing said you had to win that, even remotely. So your team should punish him harder for that. He's going to Wraith out. You know he's going to Wraith out. So the way I'm looking at this, you've got two options. You either run hard now because he's now used both of his cooldowns, but you didn't have a good shot at him, or you go deny this health pack. So you can either go, hey, I'm going to slide up here, and now I've got a different angle. I'm close to my team. My BAP can help me, all those good things. Or you go, frick it. He's got no way out. He used both of his cooldowns. I'm going to go take this health pack, and now I win. Those were better options. This is unfortunate that you let him get this health pack. Yeah, I see the dragon. Maybe the health pack wasn't an option. Let's go re-see it. So you drop for the dragon. Dragon's always going to be down the middle, so yeah, health pack's not an option. You've got to go left. It won't be to the left. Yep. Good. Yep. I now see that your chat came to the same conclusion that I just did. Sometimes you miss those sound cues when you're replaying it with pauses, because the sound cue will play its whole thing when you, even if you pause it, and then it won't, replay what was the rest of it, etc. You can be throwing... Oh no, that's your shield. It's the red-blue, right? Good. Good. So again, that was if we go back at that, it's just right click versus left click stuff where this is good. Good. But when we go here, that's fine. You're charging it, which I can live with. And then you're throwing normal orbs that we can see. Okay. Yeah, that was it. You just kind of threw 3 orbs there. Maybe you were hitting the edge of the barrier. That was close. Okay, so this Reaper really is a, hey, you gotta live closer to your team thing. Because this guy is nonstop doing the, I'm gonna flank around and come for you. And you're getting him sometimes, and that's cool. But you're just gonna have to, unfortunately, live a little bit closer to your team so that this becomes less of a case of, oh, hey, if this is the playstyle that he's committing to, your options are to either be so far back that he can't get good teleports because it changes the angle, and you're like this and go, oh yeah, teleport to me, I dare you, and now I'm up here and I 5 orb you in the face, or your option is to be a bit close to your team where you can potentially get some more peel there. Their team is a little scary for that. I'm not gonna lie, I mostly like you being further back. So yeah, let's go in the direction of further back. Since they're running Reaper, Moira, Lucio, Rhine, yeah, farther back is better. And you don't have anything particularly strong peel-wise. No Diva. Sigma's much less good peel now that his barrier's like that. Okay, that's fine. You're up in this fight. Move the Harmony Orb correctly. But this should have been a trance. And the reason this should be a trance is you see his ult going off, plus you're in trouble from the Reaper, so you get double value out of this trance. Yeah. And that's actually a team fight winning trans. They had someone still on the way back from spawn. You don't lose people there. So that is a team fight winning trans right there. And it's hard to know how much that changes because you go from, hey, they're finishing with 3 minutes and 39 seconds left to you win another team fight. And if you win another team fight, from there, the whole thing unravels. So in terms of things that could potentially have won the game, that trans is so far the highest thing on our list. Obviously, you could have also, hit a few more right-click pickoffs that could have changed things, etc., but that's our big one so far.
3-3. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Let's shoot for a new high score. All systems operational. Diva, ready for combat.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Missed the Harmony Orb, not a big deal, but just swap to the Diva, swap to the Diva. You can't. Okay, there you go. Probably don't reopen this angle yet. You've been sitting at 85 and now 118 health, and it's okay to open it for just a moment to keep your orbs active, but this is one of those situations where you go, hey, I'm missing health, I'm going to stay behind the bus and start charging orbs to throw out, and then throw them and then repeat just because you want to make sure that your shields get a chance to regen there. Yeah, so that doesn't happen. Because you'll notice he didn't hit a headshot, he hit a body shot there.
A temporary setback.
Kind of late on that Discord orb.
A temporary setback.
I'm surprised you didn't Discord him earlier because it was giving you the option. Your Discord orb wasn't meaningfully out on anyone. Now you've got your Discord up there, which is fine. And you let it fall off the ash rather than move it. And that's like 2 shots you took before you put your Discord up. Interesting. Good. Needs to clean up.
60 seconds.
Okay. You didn't have to stay that aggressive with the angle up, but you know, that's a 5v1. You don't need to go, oh, I'm gonna stay in it when I'm missing health, etc. You can go, yeah, maybe I'll take the more conservative, drift towards our health station faster, etc.
Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
You don't have to be the one to get the elim. Keep an eye up on the windows here. Okay, that's fine.
30 seconds remaining.
Activating the barrier.
Time's running out. Everyone attack.
Transit, yep.
I'm on fire.
You had your harmony on him that time, that's good. It's the right place for it to go. Okay, is there anything you need to be thinking about ult economy wise to keep this train going? So you know that you just used trans to answer dragon, which means you're not going to have trans to answer Sigma's lift. So you're thinking that you guys need to lift and bomb to win this next team fight so that he doesn't get an opportunity to use his lift. But there's no communication, so you can't really ensure that that happens. Okay.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
My path has converged with that of the payload.
And there's the lift, unfortunately.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
So the problem is, there's no real way for you to get trans fast enough to keep this going. And you can't go, I'll be off cart, and then go to cart to contest it when my team gets lifted. That's unfortunate. A couple too many missed shots there, but that's fine. And then you're surrounded, so you're just dead here because you don't have shot stats, and you both throw out lifts, but there should do the job. Yeah, okay. And this should be a Lucia swap, but it doesn't matter. Okay, that's fine.
3. Complete.
Is an excellent.
Initiating match. Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Executing pre-combat routine. Optimizing
Bastion
strategy.
Soldier Orisa with Mercy Zen. You are a very poke heavy bunker. Okay. You guys got a pretty good push. You don't have to be all inning with this Bastion shenanigans, but that's okay.
Defend objective A.
The greatest enemy is that which lies within.
So you just don't have the range to get your soldier. I mean, optimally, you would like to be having your Harmony Orb on your soldier because he is the one who's going to be separated from your team.
Ready for battle.
Problem is, position-wise, you don't have a good way to do that, and this is the right
5,
position.
4, 3,
No, you
2,
can have it on your soldier,
1.
but he's
Attackers
gonna break it.
incoming.
Okay.
Defend objective A.
The greatest enemy is that which lies
Yeah, you could potentially have pushed forward and thrown it onto him for a second, but that's not a big deal.
in the shadow of doubt.
You have it on your mercy now? Yeah, good. I mean, that's a comms or help me type thing. Like, this Reaper has been a bit of a problem for you guys all game because he's getting away with those shadow steps that just do not happen at higher levels. He just instantly gets deleted. And you've actually got the damage on him consistently to be doing that. You just need a tiny bit more help, which usually you'd get because, hey, it's a free elimination. Bit of a shame. Yep, Pocket the Mercy. She can't actually go for the res, though. We're dreaming. Unfortunately, that was a 5 orb into his shift.
The cycle begins anew.
You see how you're not really shooting for headshots there? That's kind of a habit on your part that we might have to, that might be our thing. Like, it's fine to go for body shots sometimes, especially after you've hit a headshot. You can go, hey, headshot, body shot. That works on a lot of heroes when we're talking with discords anyways. But if we look at your cursor, I'm just going to slow this down. You sort of see, like, that's not going to qualify for a headshot most of the time. That's definitely a body shot. Definitely another body shot.
Take cover!
You're still aiming that at a body shot, but he sort of went down a bit. Like, this is sort of what I'm getting to. That could have been a headshot. Nice. Okay. So you've got a bit of a thing where you're aiming a little lower than you potentially should be. You can bring down your aim a little to hit those easier body shots once their health goes down. But in some of these situations, if you want to remove these targets a bit faster, it's going to be, hey, you sort of aim at the neck as your neutral. Is your harmony on? Sigma? Okay. Get your orbs back out there. There's your Discord. Yeah, so your harmony orb's gonna be missing for 2 full right clicks here. And a reload, and then you trans without your harmony orb out. It's a lot of missed time. I was watching your harmony orb too closely though, so let's see what's actually going on in the fight. It's fine.
Revenge is not justice.
So, she's Velking, so she doesn't need it, but your soldier sure wouldn't mind it. And you are correctly going to trans this. It gets double value, and that it matches their sound barrier, and it's dealing with the dragon.
Experience tranquility.
And your team just does not like pushing off of these. Okay.
I feel the warmth of the iris flowing through.
This is good. And you're using him to body block your retreat. Very good.
For your safety, please move behind the barrier.
Okay, we're going to show that again. It's not a huge deal, but this will start to add up. As then, one of the things you bring to your comp is you cancel a certain number of team fights just based on, well, we can't really see there, but just based on, I can't really maintain the angle. Well, he's hit a wall, you know, minor detail here, but this, you see this plane that is being broken, this is a little lower than most heroes' heads. So you cancel a certain number of team fights just based on having right clicks that you get to throw at chokes that teams have to advance through, and you're missing out on, you've gotten, I think, one, maybe two this match. They weren't like full 5-orb type things, but you hit someone who was already weak who broke a plane, I think maybe twice this match. And you'll get more of those as you get better at this, etc. But part of getting better at this is, hey, you are looking to get one or two of those as headshots. Generally what you're doing is you're going, hey, I'm aiming at their head, and maybe I'm dragging it a little down and to the right if I expect them to be breaking the thing like this, because they're going to break the plane like this, and I want to get that headshot or two, and then it gets a little less sure of where they're going to be, so down and to the right to finish with body shots, but also to compensate for the fact that they're wandering out a little as they break this plane. I hope that sort of makes sense. We'll do it again because probably throw another one here.
Please move behind the barrier.
Okay. So let's get our orbs, and then let's see where they're actually aimed. That's the ground. That's better. That's the wall. But you do get them there. But you can actually hear how, hey, you're getting body shot credit for those. You didn't get any of the headshot dinks. I don't know if you can hear that. So you're aiming just a little bit low, and you hit him with enough of those that even if you get one headshot in there, he's gone. So that's a pickoff that you just missed, and that's 15 seconds off when the enemy can push again. That potentially matters. Again, that, Sigma floats a little, but that one, the bottom of Sigma's chest is effectively where that crossed the plane. You're aiming a little bit low with these.
Get over here and heal up.
Team up for special attack.
Just predictive errors. It's fine. You get 2 more team fights.
Overconfidence is a flimsy.
Oh, you're still running Bastion. That hurts.
Seconds remaining.
You hear the Reaper. Good. I'm just going to show you again. Just so that you see what I see. You angled that one up. You wanted to hit headshots, and you're aiming at this super close range. You're aiming for headshots, and you hit a headshot there. And now let's slow this down. Yeah, I don't know why your natural rest for your crosshair is below normal height there. And then here you are, and there's a little bit of a hill to this, as you can see. We're sort of going uphill, and your shot is aimed at the right height for McCree's head, but McCree's is, a fair bit down this hill already, and I think what you're aiming for is this. If you're aiming for McCree, you're right, but you're way off to the wrong spot if you're aiming for McCree, which you then try to drag. Okay. If that was for McCree, it was a left-right issue, not a height issue. That's fine. Yeah, those are body shots you're throwing at Reinhardt. Still body shots. Still body shots. Reinhardt is a big hero with a big head hitbox. Yeah, you're missing out on a lot of potential damage there. Okay. So I am not one to it's not my style. I am generally not one to go, hey, work on your mechanics. Mechanics are why you're failing, etc. But I actually see a meaningful habit here where the right thing, the right thing, like if you're doing the right thing and missing, if you're trying to get those Rhine headshots and you're missing, that's totally fine with me. If you're trying to hit the, at the choke, trying to throw those 4 and 5 orbs and you're missing, that's fine with me. But I want you conceptually doing the right thing. So that's either you look at the choke and go, I think they're going to break this choke. Let's
There is
just get a choke.
disquiet
I think
in
they're
your
going to
soul.
break this choke like this and just immediately walk forward, or I think they're going to break this choke like this. And depending on which of those it is, you take your orbs and you go, hey, I'm aiming for my headshot here, and I'm throwing all of them right here, or I'm aiming for my headshot here, and then I'm dragging my orbs out a little so that you know it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Like that's what you're looking to do with those. And I notice you're doing those like at too low an elevation, well, like hereish when it needs to be like, I mean, we have a Moira that's helping us as an example. It needs to be like hereish about where her neck is, etc. So I want you to do that because you're going to get some canceled team fights. We saw you should have had the canceled team fight. You should have bought your team 15 seconds, and 15 seconds, that cancels a team fight. That changes where ults go. That potentially makes them get anxious and push without him before he's fully back. Like, canceling team fights is a pretty big deal. I mean, it's a big deal everywhere, but especially at Silver, where if you get a pick on a couple people in a row, they just get antsy and come at you with 5 people because they're sick of waiting for 45 seconds. It's great. So definitely do that. Definitely be trying to do that. That's something that you're going to want to be working on farming, etc. And then Kangix is right there. You do need to be hitting headshots on tanks, Reinhardt, Diva, etc. Like it's so much ult charge that you're going to get. It's potentially how you catch back up to the Sigma when you had to use your ult to answer the Dragon earlier in the fight, and they were clearly going to win with their Sigma ult, etc. Now you were right to use your trans. That trans was not wrong, but that is how you try to catch up. You go, okay, let me farm these tanks for these headshots, etc. That stuff adds up, but really think a little bit more at range about, hey, I'm going to go for these headshots. Totally fine to bring it down a little once the person's close enough that a body shot, or once the person's low enough that a body shot is going to finish them. But overall, you want to be training yourself right and sort of trying for those headshots, or at least trying for those neck shots, so that if you air down, you hit them in the body. If you air up, okay, you miss, etc. But that's sort of where you want to be aiming, especially with these cancels. I get it. I get it. Ah, okay. So you've been to see you've been a master's then, and you're telling me that you're a silver's then. I'm thinking these transes look better than I'm used to seeing in silver. That's fine. Um, cool. So I hope that helps. Like I said, I want you to think about where you're aiming those shots, and in terms of the thing that would have shifted this match. Of course, canceling a team fight could have done it, but it probably was that transcendence when the Reaper was on top of you and their Sigma was popping ult. That probably was the hey third point defense that we. That's fair. I that's fair. You said it's a silver can. Fair enough. Okay. Do I see any other questions in chat? I don't. Then in that case, thanks guys for watching. If you're liking the content, please do feel free to like and subscribe. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the link below, and from there see what my rates look like, all that good stuff. Thanks guys. Temporal out.